Welcome to Global Heroes. In today's article we will discuss Legacy of Hope Foundation, Fostering Reconciliation in Canada. This past year has been incredibly historic for Indigenous peoples in Canada. People across the globe were shocked by the uncovering of unmarked graves on the grounds of former residential schools. This devastating discovery disheartened the country and the world as more people confronted the dark history surrounding residential schools in Canada. However, this was not a surprise for Indigenous peoples, and it validated what generations have claimed. There were some positive developments within this year as well. After meeting with a group of Indigenous representatives at the Vatican, Pope Francis embarked on a penance tour on Canadian soil. This included an apology for the role that members of the Catholic Church had in establishing and perpetuating residential schools, where more than 150,000 Indigenous children were forced to attend and subjected to cultural genocide. While many were not fully satisfied with this apology, especially with its omission of the role the Church itself played within residential schools, and the extent of the abuses children experienced there, it represented a significant moment for some survivors and their families. The Legacy of Hope Foundation (LHF) knows that now, more than ever, the work accomplished and momentum gained to advance reconciliation and create a better future for Indigenous peoples in Canada must continue. To do so, Canadians must be educated about Indigenous cultures, languages, traditions, and most importantly, the history, particularly surrounding the ongoing post-traumatic and resulting socio-economic impacts on 7 generations. The LHF is a national Indigenous-led organization raising awareness about the history and impacts of the residential and day school system and subsequent 60s scoop on generations of Indigenous, First Nations, Inuit, and Métis survivors, their descendants, and their communities. For over 22 years, the LHF has addressed discrimination and injustice by working for and contributing to the equity, dignity, and respectful treatment of Indigenous peoples and by fostering reconciliation. We at the LHF firmly believe that the path toward a just country lies through using culturally safe research practices to create effective educational curriculum and communication resources, along with the sharing of first-person testimonies by survivors. To achieve this vision of equality in Canada, the LHF has developed and continues to circulate historically accurate, rich, and comprehensive collections of exhibitions, curricula, workshops, training for employers, podcasts, projects, and research reports for everyone to access and learn about Indigenous peoples. Through this education and relationship-building process, more Canadians will have access to the truth about what Indigenous peoples have endured through colonial policies, learn to appreciate the rich and culturally diverse contributions of Indigenous nations, as well as learn about the strength and resilience of generations of survivors. Through this exchange, mutual respect, understanding, and compassion can be nurtured, leading to a country where hope and healing overpower racism and injustice. The LHF is committed to establishing a work environment that attracts and retains top talent and cementing itself as a financially viable organization that continues to attract funding for its projects. Along with this, the LHF is guided by tenacious Indigenous leadership who not only remain accountable but are passionately committed to seeking a diverse range of voices, being transparent, seeking the truth, and nurturing health and wellness for all. Every year, the LHF continues to remain true to its fundamental values and objectives, consistently working with survivors, using research, education, and advocacy to inspire others to promote and honor truth and reconciliation. The Legacy of Hope Foundation has already educated and inspired thousands of people across Canada, and, with your generous support, we will reach thousands more. The LHF is a registered charitable organization. Tax receipts are issued for donations exceeding $10. To purchase any curricula, access free educational materials and reports, or book a training session/workshop or an exhibition, please visit legacyofhope.ca or call us at 613-237-4806 or toll free at 1-877-553-7177.